Russia heats up. U.S. deploys dozens of F-22 Raptor fighter jets to Poland. Tensions between Russia and the West have escalated again after the United States announced the deployment of dozens of F-22 Raptor stealth fighter jets to Poland. This move is seen as a strong signal that Washington will not remain silent about Russia's military escalation in Eastern Europe. The deployment of the aircraft fleet immediately attracted international attention, especially since the F-22 is known as one of the most advanced fighter aircraft in the U.S. possession. The U.S. Department of Defense explained that the deployment of F-22s to Poland is part of NATO's collective defense strategy. The aircraft will be stationed at Lask and Powidz air bases, two strategic locations adjacent to the Ukrainian border. The goal is not only to strengthen NATO's air position, but also to demonstrate the U.S. commitment to maintaining the stability and security of its allies in the increasingly volatile region. This move comes amid increased Russian military activity in its western region. Several Western intelligence reports indicate that Moscow has moved a large number of troops and medium-range missile systems to areas near the borders of Poland and Belarus. This situation has raised concerns that Russia is preparing to expand its military influence in the region. The F-22 Raptor, developed by Lockheed Martin, is a symbol of United States air supremacy. With its stealth technology, supercruise speed, and advanced radar system, this aircraft is capable of penetrating enemy air defenses undetected. In the current geopolitical context, the presence of the F-22 in Europe is not merely a display of power, but also a strong message to Russia to refrain from aggressive actions. Some military analysts believe that the deployment of the F-22 is a form of deterrence depression, or an effort to prevent Russia from further escalating the confrontation in Ukraine and Eastern Europe. With its exceptional combat capabilities, the F-22 can dominate the skies in a short time and provide a significant strategic advantage to NATO forces. Meanwhile, Moscow responded harshly to Washington's move. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov stated that the deployment of F-22s to Poland constituted direct incitement against Russia. He believes this policy could ease tensions and trigger a new arms race in Europe. Russia also reported activating the S-400 air defense system in the Kaliningrad region as a precautionary measure. This deployment also demonstrates NATO's continued strengthening of its presence in Eastern Europe. In recent months, in addition to the U.S., member countries such as Germany, the U.K., and France have also increased their troop and military equipment on the eastern border. The alliance appears to want to ensure that any Russian move will be met with equal force. This situation has certainly raised new concerns for countries in the region. Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states are now on the front lines of geopolitical tensions that show no signs of abating. For Poland, the presence of the F-22 Raptors is a symbol of protection and solidarity from its Western allies. However, some have warned that military buildup in the region could be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, this increases the sense of security for NATO members, but on the other hand, it could provoke an overreaction from Russia. The risk of miscalculation on the ground poses a real threat that could trigger a major conflict. International relations experts warn that the world is now on the brink of a new chapter in the Cold War. The dynamics between the US and Russia are once again dominated by the logic of military power and mutual suspicion. Both countries claim to be acting to maintain stability, but instead are widening the gap between them. The international community is urging diplomacy to once again become the primary path to ending this disruption.
Capabilities that make
The United Nations, UN, and the European Union are expected to play a more active role in lowering the political temperature and preventing an escalation of armed conflict. However, there are still no signs that either side will reduce their military intensity, as both Russia and NATO continue to strengthen their respective positions. The F-22 Raptors currently flying over Poland are a clear symbol that the great power confrontation is entering a new, more dangerous phase. The world is watching warily, waiting to see whether this military move will bring peace through a balance of power or trigger a new crisis in the heart of Europe. In this heated situation, every political and military decision will determine the direction of history, between diplomacy or domination, between peace or war.